Hello. I hate filming in public.
So do I.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another restaurant test. Today we are at my favorite place in the world outside of Harry Potter World. You're a little late.
You told me the wrong
Okay,
way.
it's fine, it's fine.
That's
Today we are going to Chipotle to get their kind of famous Quesarito. It's a quesadilla wrapped around a burrito, two of my favorite things on the planet, and then of course I'm gonna go home and try to make it, so let's go grab one. Hi, I have a question. Are you able to make something called a Quesarito? Will it break? Nah, it's fine. I'll just keep it in a foil. It's all good, thank you. Apparently, the quesarito was too strong for the wrapper. Oh, snap.
I love the sound of foil being cut.
Ew. Kind of reminds me of like nails on a chalkboard.
Well, I was joking.
Oh.
It's a terrible sound.
I'm not even going to include the part where you said you were joking and just put in...
No!
Oh, Lord. Oh! Look at the cheese on the bottom. Oh, that's not cheese. That's tortilla. Hurricane. That's too close. It's the most delicious mess I've ever eaten in my life.
It's really nice.
Just the fact of the tortilla being toasted and like doused in cheese, it's next level.
I feel very powerful holding the camera, I have to say. At first I didn't want to hold it, but now I like it.
That's good. It took one time for you to want to abuse your powers. Look at this lighting though. That ambiance on the left side of your face. Also, this is not a promo for that restaurant. I just thought I'd let you know because that's kind of what it looks like.
Okay.
Review.
Very good. Very cheesy. I like it.
Very detailed. Alright people, we are back home now and it is time to make ourselves one of these monsters. I'm gonna start with the marinade for the chicken thighs. In my smaller blender, I combined some water and olive oil with some cumin, garlic, salt and pepper, dried oregano, some distilled white vinegar, and some Chipotle chilies that I found in the grocery store, which also came in a can and kind of looked pretty scary. I'm not sure how hot these guys are gonna be. Either way, I blended this up until it was nice and smooth. I grabbed my 5 boneless and skinless chicken thighs that I found in the same store and covered those up with the marinade. Now I'm gonna cover this and let this sit in the fridge for about an hour, 2 hours while I prepare everything else. Now we're gonna move on to Chipotle's hot sauce, which personally I feel like is one of their most underrated food items. It's so good. Side note, by the way, they are in no way sponsoring this video. We did not ask them permission. I wish they were though. Chipotle, hit me up. Now I first gathered my ripened tomatoes, 1 yellow onion, and a ton of fresh garlic, and threw them all down onto my cast iron skillet, which I had some foil on top of, and I had that over high heat. You're gonna wanna flip all of these once in a while, try to get a nice even char around the outside of all of them. The garlic cloves will need a few minutes less than the tomatoes and onion, so keep that in mind. Now these were sticking to the pan a little bit, but I got somewhat of a nice char on everything, so I removed it all and began to chop it all up. Firstly, by peeling all of the garlic cloves, which who knew that charring it made the skins come off pretty dang easy. I then also just roughly chopped up my tomatoes. I tried to remove some of the seeds just because I've made fresh pasta sauce in the past. Even that I've blended and still kind of get the seeds here and there, so I tried my best to remove some of them. And of course, I chopped up the onion as well. I added all 3 of those ingredients into my blender, the same one I used for the marinade. This time my vegetables barely fit, but I was able to blend this up. Once you've got some more oil, heat it up in a non-stick pan, throw down your tomato, onion, and garlic mix, let that come to a little bit of a simmer, and then you're gonna add some fresh lime juice and some salt. This is pretty easy, and I'm hoping it's gonna taste good. And from here, you just have to let it simmer away on low heat for about 15 minutes, let it thicken up a little bit, let the flavors develop, and this is looking pretty good. And now on to the rice, which I have had some trouble with in the past cooking rice. I'm gonna give it a stab here because I'm gonna follow this recipe exactly how they say. I grabbed 1 cup of water, and in the water I added in the juice of 2 limes, some dried coriander, salt, some olive oil, and a bay leaf. Now once this mix comes to a boil, just add in a half cup of rice. Don't mix it apparently, just cover that up and let it simmer away for about 20 minutes. Now about 12 or 13 minutes later I checked it, it was nowhere near done, there was a ton of liquid still left. About 18 to 20 minutes later, this is what I had. It was this like gloopy, gelatinous, weird rice. Why can I never cook rice properly? And this is the point of the video where I had to call in some backup. Mother? Ma! Can you cook me rice? As you can see, Mom came in and saved the day. She whipped up some normal rice, and I just added to that a bunch of fresh cilantro, a little bit of lime juice, and some ground sea salt. Nice and easy. This is probably not how Chipotle does it. I don't care at this point. The last couple steps we have to do before cooking our chicken is just to grate some Monterey Jack cheese. Apparently that's the exact cheese that Chipotle uses. And then just chop up some romaine lettuce that I washed out a little bit, and we're looking pretty much good. And now it's time for the part of the recipe that I think will probably end up closest to Chipotle's version, grilling the chicken. I took my chicken out of the marinade, threw it onto a steaming hot grill, gave them about 5-7 minutes on both sides. Don't be afraid to get a nice char on these chicken thighs. You want to make sure they're cooked all the way through, not super dry or overcooked. I basted the chicken as I cooked it with the rest of the marinade. Obviously most of it just ended up falling off, and in my opinion I actually took these off a couple minutes too early because when I started dicing them up inside, they seemed a little bit on the borderline. Good enough though to not give anybody salmonella, at least I hope so, so let's construct these burritos. Step 1, throw down a touch of oil in your nonstick pan, throw down a burrito wrap, and then a bunch of shredded up Monterey Jack cheese. A couple minutes later this was looking melty and delicious, so I put it back over on my counter and stacked up each ingredient. First, the white rice and the chicken. We cannot forget about our freshly made hot Chipotle salsa on top, along with some lettuce, some more cheese, why not? Some sour cream, and this is the pathetic attempt at me trying to wrap this up all together. And this wouldn't be a true, authentic Chipotle burrito, at least it wouldn't look like one, without some foil on the outside, so I wrapped it up, and I think it's time to give this thing a try. If this thing tastes even a little bit like what I had today, I'm gonna be making this often. I'm sure I said it, but I'm at Chipotle constantly, so maybe this will be a good substitute. It's obviously really good. The chicken is surprisingly spot on, I'd say. The cheese, the lettuce, obviously everything else is good. It's just that rice, like, any of you peeps out there, if you work at Chipotle, DM me and tell me your secrets. I want to know how you make that damn rice, because this is not really close. Also, Chipotle, if you're watching, I'm waiting for my lifetime burrito card like Ninja just got, because I'd be your biggest promoter you've ever had in your life. If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather have that fried mozzarella burger on the last restaurant test more than this. This is pretty darn good though, and I could definitely see myself making it again. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's restaurant test. If you did, slap a like on this one. Again, I cannot apologize enough for missing Friday. It was very nice to have a couple weekdays where I didn't have to constantly think about getting that BuzzFeed test out, so thank you for those of you who allowed me to take that break. Let me know what BuzzFeed test you want to see next week. Let me know what restaurants you want me to hit up around the country, because I'm going to start traveling this summer for this series, hopefully. And other than that, have an awesome beginning of your week. Follow me over on Twitter, on Instagram. Other than that, I will